All right, good morning. Okay, so we are on week 2 for new directors for our championship workbook. Yay. So y'all pull that out. We're on week 2. The 6 systems that build a strong organization is your personal business. Okay, now we already talked about that. We kind of spent some time there last week, so I'm not going into that again. But really checking yourself and making sure that you're being a great consultant first. You're working on your 10 parties a month first because it keeps you in control. And as a new sales director, when you feel out of control and you feel like you don't know what you're doing and you feel frustrated with the new learning curve of your new promotion, you can get into a funky place real quick, especially on the emotional cycle. And Amory and I talked about that yesterday. But what happens is we start feeling inadequate instead of focusing on the activity to fix the feeling, okay? And so that strong personal business, y'all, has got to remain strong. You've got to stay in the field. You've got to check in on your own beast mode sheet. You've got to double check your own sharing sheets, okay? We have to do our work first. We have to do our work first. And that is a piece that I need y'all to be obsessively remembering year 1, okay? When your Cadillac is done on your 12th month, I will introduce you to a new thought. Until then, no new thoughts, but your personal business is absolute priority, okay? All right, so number 2 is our new consultant systems, okay? So as y'all very well know, we have our welcome packet. Okay, let me move this out of the way. So I literally have a folder called systems. These are all the systems that are done. These are the few that I've still got to work on, okay? So if you go over here to my welcome packet, I have the pieces that are editable to the welcome packet, and then I have the pieces that actually go out, okay? Now, this might seem a little nutso for organization, but for me, I need everything to have a home. I need every document to be able to be grabbed quickly. That is a system that keeps me from having to touch stuff a whole lot of times and not know where it's at, okay? So I can click systems, what systems are done, and then find the system that I need. So welcome packet is what I need first, paired with the Great Start New Consultant Flyer, okay? Now, I will tell y'all that I'm working on my very own inventory video. It's going to be just inventory. It's not going to be a quote-unquote step 2 video. I'm not going through the whole step 2 information, but I simply am going to take them through their inventory options with Great Start so that it's me, and I'll share that with our area, okay? So y'all can use it if you want to, or you can make your own. So what I've been doing, you guys, all of our new consultants for me have not been close by, okay? They have not geographically been close, okay? So what I've been doing is taking our welcome packet, I literally pull it up on the screen just like this, and then I go through level 1 with her. Now, the minute that she signs, she has already received this from her recruiter. The welcome packet to her was sent to her by her recruiter. My office will send it, but if the minute she signs, my recruiter, I literally save this. I don't know if y'all can see on my cell phone. In the notes section of my phone, I literally save the welcome message, the welcome packet, and the video link for inventory, and the Great Start paper, not brochure, paper, that has everything kind of itemized. She's gonna get the Great Start brochure in her starter kit. If she has not made a decision by that time on inventory, y'all, it's about a 48-hour turnaround. She can look at the brochure, and that can be another layer in helping her figure out her inventory. So what I'm going to do with her when I get her on Zoom, if I don't know her, The first thing that I'm doing is going over, let me open systems back up where it says step 2. And this step 2, you guys, is what I do with her. Why did you get started in Mary Kay? Is your spouse excited? What would you love your business to do for you? What questions do you have? And then I literally set her debut date. We review her meeting date and time, and I tell her what to download. That is all right here, y'all. It's straight from the welcome packet, okay? This part is just for you so you know what to do with her. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I do not address level 2 or level 3 until she is working on level 1. I'm not telling her 50 million things, okay? I simply tell her, when you get your kit, I want you to take a picture of you and post it on Voxer. My girls love party kit pictures of new consultants, and we want to celebrate you. I make her take ownership in posting the picture so that she learns how to connect with my group on Voxer. And so they can encourage her, not encourage my post, encourage her. Okay? Once I review this level 1, I just tell her that because that kit's coming fast. Okay? Then I go right here and I tell her the next 3 area company events. Right now, I wrote career conference, May race, and seminar on these 3 lines. I zoom on down here and I tell her, here's your kickoff party information. Right here, this is your job before, this is your job at the party. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I think this is a lot of stuff. It's little stuff like, hey, set the date. Hey, sit your inventory on the table. So don't be overwhelmed by this. I just want you to feel comfortable in knowing what to do so that you can be successful and have a great start, okay? And so that's all I do with the welcome packet, okay? I kind of stop there now, all right? Because what I'm doing with their sharing sheets now is a little different than what I've done in the past. So that's what I'm doing right now, okay? So I go through this with her. Then the next thing we do is go over her business plan to help her have a great start. I have this piece of paper right here laying out, and I have this piece of paper right here laying out. If I don't have this sheet of paper right here with me, then I just get out a blank piece of paper and I draw a 4-week calendar. 4-week calendar for her. Then I ask her these questions. How many parties a month are you willing to hold? If you knew you were going to make $150 to $200 per appointment, how much extra money or how many parties? People will compute this number differently. Some people need to compute cash. How much money do I need to make? Some people need to compute time. It depends on their reason, if they have an entrepreneurial mindset or if they have a 9-to-5 mindset. Entrepreneurial people are going to pick how much money they want to make and they'll figure out the time. Real world people, I call them, okay, they live in the real world. This was me when I came into Mary Kay. I always calculated the time, okay, because I didn't understand that you set your money and you match it with time. I always thought you set your time and then you just take whatever money they give you. That's what the real world people who have a 9-to-5 mentality do. That's how I was raised. So either way, help her figure this out. So what I do next, you guys, is what I think helps me create comfortable, confident consultants who feel like they can trust me when it comes to inventory, okay? Now, what I ask her is this next question. I'm going to kind of do it as we go so y'all can kind of see what I do. I did just record a step 2. It is on video, and I'll send it to y'all so you can kind of see what this actually looks like, okay? So what I do is I say, how many are you willing to hold? My last girl said, I'm willing to do 2 a week, 2 parties a week. And I said, great. This is literally what I wrote on the piece of paper in front of us as we sat there, okay? So I wrote these numbers down because these are how many parties per month that she is willing to hold. I don't know what this thing is doing. Okay, are y'all with me? So then I simply write down how many parties she's gonna do, okay? Now, this is easy math for us, you guys, because all you gotta do is plug in these numbers right here, okay? So if she's willing to do 8 a month at $300 a piece, how many parties per month is she doing? 8? What is 8 times 300? Make her get out her calculator and write it down. When she figures out the answer, she will understand the answer. Okay? So I show her on a piece of paper that with 8 time slots, you're going to sell $2,400 on the low side. Really, a new consultant now can sell more like $400. So you can sell anywhere from $2,400 to $3,200 a month if you were holding this many parties. Now, what does that do for her confidence? She picked the parties. I showed her the income. I don't write that $3,200 down. I just say it out loud so she understands that I'm banking everything on the low side today. Now, if you were willing to hold parties, I'm just going to tell you straight up, my magic number for me at a party is 5 to 6 faces. I'm going to go on the low side, though, and help you figure out how many faces per month on average you can see when you're holding these faces per month. Let's see how many girls you're going to be seeing. So my party number, you guys, was 8. 8 times 4 equals what? 32 faces. Y'all, this number right here is what gives me her magic number, which goes over here and tells me how much inventory she needs. She doesn't think I'm being sketchy. She doesn't think I'm telling her too much inventory. She doesn't think anything other than I just created a mathematic, secure, stable formula that made her feel comfortable. And she doesn't know what this number means right here. Then I go right here. The fact that Mary Kay lets us have product on hand means we can sell more, make more, and move faster. All 3 reasons are why we are the standard, and all other direct sales companies compare themselves to us if they're doing a good job or not. Our business plan is taught at Harvard, and Mary Kay Ash was the greatest female entrepreneur in American history. Why do I do that right there, you guys? I tell her those things so that she understands what kind of company, stability, security that she has starting a Mary Kay business. I'm building a connection with her. I'm building trust, and that's the most important piece for a new consultant in the beginning, is that loyalty, that trust, and to understand what's going on, okay? My next question. So as you hold parties, tell me why you think having product on hand would be super important. And y'all, I'm taking notes the whole time we're talking. I just write down everything that she says, and then I say, what else? What else? What else? What else? And she shows me what she knows and understands about inventory right here. Okay? Then anything that she has not said that's on my list, I mention to her. The next thing I do, you guys, is go through this chart with her. Okay? And I say, okay, Susie, well, I'm so excited. So what I want to do with you is I want to give you, you're a smart businesswoman. You own your own company now with Mary Kay, right? You own your own company. I love to give women all of their options. So whether you came in the door today with hesitations or reservations or lots of questions or none, I wrote down your questions at the beginning. So whatever I don't answer right here in this part, I'm going to go back as soon as we finish, and I'm going to make sure that all your questions are answered. Is that fair? She says yes. I start at the top. Why do I start at the top? I hand her the whole platter first, and then I take away from the platter, okay? So I start at the top and I say our very first level inventory is a 3,600. That level inventory does 36 faces. And I gotta tell you the good news. As a consultant, the first time in Mary Kay history, they have increased our freebie bonus bundles so much. We have never been able to earn this much free product as a new consultant ever. So when you start with a 36 that does 36 faces a month, you know, when you're holding parties. So remember, when you go back to your party list, when we look at your parties, this is for somebody who's doing about 36 faces a month, okay? Now, let me tell you this. When you start with too much inventory, you're going to feel a little overwhelmed. But if you don't have enough, you are going to be so frustrated and feel like you can't catch up. So as you listen today, I want you to think about your life. If you have a life that's a little more busy, you have a little more responsibilities, you got kind of a lot going on, having inventory is going to save you time, and time is money in Mary Kay. So I want you to think about that as we talk about what's the best business decision for you and your new company. Okay, so next, at this level, you can get up to $11.49 for free as a new consultant. So let's think about this for just a minute. I know you watched the video in the beginning, and so you kind of are familiar with what I'm talking about. But if you went to the bank and said, hey, you know, I'm starting my new business. I need some stuff to sell my customers. You went to the bank and they gave you your loan. This loan, it says 48 is about how much it will cost. That's a little high. It's usually about 42 to 44 depending on your tax rate, okay? So let's say you got a loan for 4,400, okay? You're gonna get $11.49 free from Mary Kay, free. That's about a third of what it's gonna cost you to start your business. So you're gonna use the bank's money to buy the product, and you're gonna use Mary Kay's free product to pay the bank off. Can you believe they give us free stuff after they already sell it to us at half price? Then a third of what we order, they give it to us for free. So we can sell it and we can get our investment paid off so that we're running our company debt-free just like they are, okay? Now, the next choice down, did y'all hear me? The next choice down is the Diamond Star. This is kind of our little magic package in Mary Kay. And the reason why is because it does 30 faces. So how many faces again what was your magic number? 32. So 32 faces a month was the low side for you, right? Okay. So this is the magic package in Mary Kay because our consultants that are holding a Power Start, which is at least 30 faces a month, they are the consultants who are really enjoying a solid part-time income. Okay, so some people come into Mary Kay to make some extra money, get their own product at cost and all that stuff. This level of consultant doing 30 faces, she's getting tons of recognition, prizes, she's having a ball, okay? She is loving her Mary Kay business, okay? So as a consultant, why would you be loving your Mary Kay business at this level? Number one, you're seeing 32 faces a month, okay? How much are you profiting on the low side holding these 8 group appointments, these 8 great parties? You're selling 2,400, girl, your profit is going to be $1,200. Isn't that exciting? Do you know I made $1,462 a month as a school teacher? So I'm just telling you that working these time slots a month and putting $1,200 in your bank account, you cannot go anywhere doing a part-time job and make that kind of income per hour invested in your business, okay? And you get to be in charge of the hours that you put on the calendar. That's the best part, okay? All right, at this level, $9.91, again, about a third, okay? The next package down is a Ruby Star. At this level, you have enough stuff to do about 24 faces, okay? And you're getting $8.33 retail. This level is about half of a full store. So if you go over here and look at your faces, a consultant who is doing twice this, so more like 3 to 4 parties every week, this amount is not even a full store anymore in Mary Kay. It's at, this is a half store, so a full store is a 4,800. I know it's not on the list today, but somebody who came in to me and said, I want to do 3 to 4 parties a week, that would be where I recommend they start, okay? So 2,400 is a half store. That's about 24 faces. And 1,800 is the last level to be a star, and that's 18 faces, okay? At that level, you're getting $675 free. The last two options are a 1,200, 12 faces, and $482, and a 600, 6 faces, and $324, okay? So those are kind of the options. Now, I want you to think for just a minute. If money were no object, which package would you start with to give you the best great start possible? Okay, plan A. All right. So if you were going to start with plan A, let me ask you this first. Whose decision is it which package you start with? Is it just your decision, or is it you and someone else? I ask her that, y'all, so I know if this is her, oh, it's right here, if this is her decision or somebody else's decision. Because if it's just her decision and she decides tonight, I can go ahead and get her card, get the order in, and be done. If I know this is not her decision up front, then I know it's going to be a phone call tomorrow or think time tonight, okay? Then I'm asking her how she would pay for it, okay? Would you, and we address the 8 ways to pay for inventory, okay? I'm getting that sheet, Linda Tupin's 8 ways to pay for inventory. I'm getting that sheet. Somebody retyped it, so as soon as I get that, I'll add it to this. And then, you guys, I was then going into, okay, if that option of how to pay for it doesn't work, what's your next option? But I really feel like that if I do that, then I'm not equipping her really for any other options of less amounts, so she'll just do nothing. So I went back to the last step 2 I did. I went back to saying, so your husband is making the decision with you. If he tells you no way you're doing a 3,600, what's your next choice down? And she says a 3,000. And then I say, great, how will you pay for that one? Okay, what is, if your husband says absolutely no ma'am, no thank you, what is your next choice down? And she says an 1,800. Okay, great. I write that down and I say, how will you pay for that? Well, I can do that one out of my checking or my savings or on my card I already have, blah, 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 okay? So then we kind of talk through, at this point, I can kind of gauge and figure out what she's thinking, okay? Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I had a new consultant just the other day. She started with an 1,800. When she got on the step 2 call, that's kind of what she was thinking based on the video, but she said the 3,600 was her plan A because that's the smartest place to invest. And I said, you're right. And she said, but oh my God, like that's a lot of money and that makes me really nervous and oh, that makes me scared. And she just kind of kept going back to, but I think it's the best value, but I could feel like that little panic from her. Okay. Now this was her. She was willing to do 32 faces a month. Okay. So I told her, the best place for you to start is here. A more full store for you is here. And a more small store for you is here. Okay? I recommend a diamond star for you. Okay? That's what I recommend. But I need you to be comfortable with the decision that you make because this is your business. So, knowing that your plan A is a 36, your plan B is a 3,000, and your plan C is an 1,800, what do you feel most comfortable with? And you guys, you know what she did? I told her, I said, I want to support you. It's more important for me that you come in the door of Mary Kay happy and excited about your decision for inventory than coming in the door being stressed and overwhelmed and frustrated before we ever have your first party. So I'd rather you start a little smaller than what you want to start with and be okay with it than to start where you think maybe is the best place, but it makes you scared, overwhelmed, and frustrated. So she started with an 1800. And guess what will happen? She now trusts me. She's excited. I can help her sell, and then she'll probably order more. Okay? So I leave her with 3 things to do. If she hasn't done the stuff from her welcome packet, we're working on that. She's got to make her inventory decision. Absolutely, number 1, make the decision. And I tell her, hey girl, everybody decides within 24 hours because really we know what we can and can't do. So I want you to make your decision. Let me know what you decide, what time, and I set an appointment time for me to call her tomorrow. Okay, and I say, if you decide sooner, you text me tonight. All I need your card number. I pick out everything for you so you don't have to be stressed about getting the right stuff. So I set up the expectation that I'm going to do that order for her. She doesn't have to worry about it. Okay. I tell her to get with her recruiter and set her debut date. Her recruiter's doing that. Now, if your recruiter is not strong and you don't trust that she's really going to do it, you do it. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. All right. So I leave her with her to-do list and I finish the appointment with her, check everything off the list. We're all set up. We're good to go. Okay. I follow up the next day and get her decision. Okay. So last night she texted me. Now this has been a 4-day decision, not as quickly as I had hoped, but guess what? It's okay. The decision is she's working on the decision. She needed a minute to process, and I wanted her to feel good about her decision. I didn't want her to come in the door and be all freaking out. She would have done a 3600 had I pushed that because she trusts me. Why did I not push that? Because this is about her being excited. Okay, she's registered for a career conference. She's really excited to get started. Okay, so it was important to build that trust with her. Now, because of Great Start Keep Selling, she's going to start with this 18. She can still earn lots and lots of free product, almost the exact same amount. When she gets another 1800 in, she'll still earn about the same amount. Did y'all know that? When they really cross 36 as a new consultant, the freebies is about 1100 instead of 1150. So they can still get a lot of stuff and still feel really good about their decision. Okay. So it was more important for me to build her trust. Okay. So that's new consultants, you guys. Okay. That's the new consultant piece. All right. You guys, next is meetings and events. All right. So as you're planning your meeting, I've sent y'all before the 13-week training schedule for your unit meeting. And Rebecca Evans kind of gave it to me. And she is who, I guess, kind of coined, if you will, the 13-week new director training plan. Okay. And so basically what it is that your new consultants, not new directors, sorry, your new consultants get on a 13-week schedule. So every 13 weeks you're training on booking. Every 13 weeks you're training on coaching. Every 13 weeks you're training on selling. Every 13 weeks you're training on recruiting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so as their director, you create this system, and systems cause you less stress. So when you have your meeting notebook, you literally have 13 tabs in the notebook, and every 13 weeks you go back to the tab, back to the tab, back to the tab. Y'all, when they master every tab, they'll be directors. So don't think that they're going to be bored or that they're going to be like, we already learned about this. They only retain 7% of what you say. So that means people need to hear stuff like 15 times before they really get it. 100 divided by 7 is what? 14.2, almost 15. They need to hear it 14 times. So y'all, let's think about that. It's going to take them 3 years of getting through each thing to hear it 14 times. So quit beating yourself up that you're telling them the same thing. Y'all, I have been in church for 38 years, and we are still in the same manual. The same manual. God has not changed one page. Not one page has changed. I am still getting training on the same information. But what happens is I'm growing up and I'm changing. And that's what makes the information be received every single time differently. So get your 13 weeks training. You don't need to prepare it all ahead of time. As you go, today is week 1. I'm going to do week 1. This week, I'm going to get all my stuff together for week 1. I'm going to hole punch the handouts. I'm going to make my tab. I'm going to put it in my training notebook. And then next week, on week 2, I'm going to create the stuff, put it in the notebook. And then at the end of 13 weeks, when it's time to start over, I'm going to have my entire training manual for my meeting all planned out, all set up, and all ready to rock and roll. Okay? So that is the new consultant system piece for you. Okay? All right. So next thing I wanted to share with y'all is, Anne-Marie, did you ever get one of these when you were a new director back in the day? The action plan, do you still have it? Yes, you still have it. Okay, I want you to pull that sucker out. Y'all, this book is awesome, and I will send y'all the link. I've got to make myself my to-do list today to do. Y'all need a link for the action plan. And if you'll get it printed and bound, it's probably $7 or $8 to get it printed, bound in black and white at Office Depot with your discount. But there's the pieces that are in here I just feel like are so good. And it talks about educating new consultants. And Anne-Marie, the very first page on educating new consultants is the emotional stages of a consultant. Seriously. Excitement, frustration, crisis, and recommitment. And Anne-Marie and I were just talking about that yesterday, okay? And so as y'all are kind of homing through this, this action plan, I think it'll help you kind of figure out and formulate your meeting agenda outline. That's how I knew how to do a meeting, is I just took the outline from here. So as you're working on your meetings and events, number 1, the way that you create the system of your meetings, we're going to do this: create a timed outline, announcements, recognition, break for the skincare class, training, inspiration. Who's going to do the inspiration at the end of your meeting? Okay. That kind of stuff. And then we do the same outline every week. When you do the same outline every week, it builds security, makes people feel safe. They know what to expect. They feel comfortable, and they know what to do when they walk in the door. Okay. So as you're working on your meetings, get you a meeting binder. And as you do a training, put it in the binder so you don't have to create that again. You do not want to have to create stuff every time you need a welcome packet. You do not want to have to sit down and print a welcome packet. You need to be able to grab a welcome packet. That's what's going to make you feel more effective as a leader. Okay. The next thing is career surveys with your unit, okay? So what we're doing is the sharing sheet. As my consultants in my unit are sending me those sharing sheets, you know, we can call and follow up, and we can teach them how to follow up. But what I need y'all to hear from me is this, okay? Their goal with every person that they interview is to get through the entire layering list within 30 days. If they can complete all 7 layers, okay? If they can complete all 7 layers, imagine how their recruiting will increase. So people are saying things to me like, I've got to work more numbers now. It takes more people than it used to. And I say, I don't really agree with that. What I see happening is people do ticket marketing and they write down that they did an interview. The only interview is a sharing sheet. That's it. An interview is not a video. An interview is not ticket marketing. An interview is not a facial or a party or being a hostess. That is called a layer. And so what's happening is people are saying, I did ticket marketing with 40 people and I have 2 new recruits. The numbers aren't working. But if I take a new prospect and take her through all 7 layers, I'm gonna recruit 1 out of 5 and probably 1 out of 3. So we've got to inspect what it is that we're calling an interview. We've got to inspect what it is that our consultants think that they share the facts with somebody and she'll just decide and she'll be a new consultant and this is all going to be hunky-dory and wonderfully great and la, 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 la. Okay? But what they're missing is, did you do the sharing sheet and you sent her home with a packet and you told her to watch the video or listen to the video in the car on the drive home? So you equipped her and then you followed up. Her hostess appointment is scheduled. If it's more than 4 weeks out, can you get a facial in so she can try the product? At the facial, let her ask you questions. Okay, what other questions do you have? What other questions do you have? What other questions do you have? You know, and feed that piece just like you would do ticket marketing if you had a group, but feed every piece of the 7 layers, because when you take her through the 7 layers, then you can look at your numbers. Because people are just throwing out all these sharing sheets and they're never really connecting. They're just checking off the boxes. So relationships, y'all, if I drew a square and I shared with you the 4 cornerstones of building an inner circle area, the 4 cornerstones to building a pink Cadillac, there's 4 pieces: systems, contests, communication, and relationships. Systems, contests, communication, and relationships. And inside that box is all the people that are being held by you, okay? So you put all the people in. Well, if you don't build strong corners, what happens? The structure falls and is not stable. So your 4 cornerstones are those pieces. So as we look at your career surveys with your unit, encouraging them, you got a month. Okay, what's the next layer that you're doing with her? What's the date so I can pencil it in on my layering chart for you so I know what you're doing with her next. I can inspect what I expect. I expect you to go into DIQ and add 8 new agreements this month. However, you just did 4 sharing sheets and you're ticked off because she got new recruits and you didn't, and you feel like a loser and you quit Mary Kay. So I've got to protect your heart by teaching you how to do the numbers. And I can make you feel empowered and never inadequate, because when you learn how to do the numbers, you don't feel inadequate. You don't feel like you don't measure up, because you're going to get the results, y'all. It's going to happen. Okay. The next piece of today is going to be your unit communication. Now, I recommend with your unit communication that you choose, okay, a week, a day of the week to be able to email out your weekly update, okay? Now, what I want to show, okay, I can't minimize, okay. What I want to show you, where is the sheet? Okay. It must be on my laptop, which is not here. Okay, so what I'm going to send y'all is the status information that I use, okay, that e-cards go out for $15 a month. Court of Achievers, you can tell them I sent you. Court of Achievers will do all of your e-cards for $15. All of them, y'all. That is exciting. Okay, so that's $15. Okay. Then once a week, you're sending an email to your unit with announcements, recognition, all the happenings for the week. Okay. I recommend doing that update email day 24 to 48 hours, so 1 to 2 days after your unit meeting. That way, you can give everybody the recognition for the meeting. Who are the queens? What's going on? Who made new progress this week towards the cruise? Who made new progress this week? Who finished star? Who? So it's just a weekly update so that they know on Wednesday, I get my weekly Wednesday mail from my director. So pick a day. I like Weekly Wednesday. It's fun. You can do Merry Monday, Terrific Tuesday, or Thankful Thursday, or Fabulous Friday. I don't care. Just pick a day of the week. Send that email without fail so that they are expecting it. They know it. In the subject line, it needs to be the same. So in the subject, I like to type the word memo in all caps because it just lets people know, hey, this is from Holly's office. And when they ever want to just grab an email from me or my office, they can go to subject, type memo, and anything my office or myself sends, memo is in the subject line. And everything is on BCC, which is blind copied, okay? So if I'm going to communicate with my unit every single week, and it's their subject, memo, weekly Wednesday celebrations, or weekly Wednesday, fabulous fun, whatever, okay, that goes out, and put the date, all right? Put the date in the subject so that if they go, now she sent me one of these last week, and I remember she said something about career conference on that. What date was last Wednesday? I bet if I search that date last Wednesday, I can find that email from her about career conference. Okay, so it just gives them this consistent thing that they can look forward to. Okay, so that's unit communications. Now, recognition. I just shared this with your seniors, your Cadillacs, your Premier Club girls. What I do on Boxer for recognition, y'all, I personally am not putting a pic collage on Boxer for birthdays, for anniversaries, for $100 days, for you turned your beast mode sheet in, or you did a facial and sold $1, for I don't do lots, I do celebrations. But when I recognize people with a picture and a post, it's because it's a big deal, okay? But I'm not a person who thinks everybody needs a trophy. When they sell $50 at a facial, they post it on Boxer and we all clap. But if I'm going to recognize you, it's going to be because you are doing what I want more of in my unit. Are y'all with me? So that is new career path movement. That is a Beast Mode week completed. It's a new Great Start Star Consultant, okay? And it's people who are making progress on the cruise. Quarter ending stars. And the next event, who has registered, okay? So let's talk about this for just a minute. What I found when I was in the social media world was that everybody got recognized every time they sneezed, coughed, everything. And Mary Kay Ash was very big on applause. She wanted us to applaud people. But you guys, what happens when you do massive recognition for very little? You lower the bar a lot. A lot. You lower the bar. And so I'm not making a pic collage for people who start with a 600 in the Great Start program. I'm going to recognize, and just for right now, I'm doing people who are starting as a star because that's the standard that I want to set. And so if you look at these couple of pic collages that I have for you, this says new senior beauty consultant, okay, career path movement. This says new Sapphire Star great start consultant, okay? So I'm just recognizing that so they feel, so they're getting that. And then I just say, I don't type a big post. The pic collage has the information. I just say congrats and I tag their name, okay? And the pic collage says everything I need it to say. So when I post a pic collage, you better believe that they are all hearts and they're all excited and they want to know how they can get their face on my Voxer group, okay? So just because you add 10 new people, if nobody's doing anything, that's not changing your crew's stuff. You have to get some results. Activity is good. I might make a voice Voxer and celebrate activity. But if I put your picture on my Voxer group in a pic collage, it's because you are being a champion. Okay? So we mail personal birthday cards from my office. We have your name in my newsletter. So all of the pieces of, you did a 200, congratulations, or 225. I don't do a pic collage for that. I'm not going to. That's in my newsletter. My newsletter is designed to recognize the bottom 80% of my unit and give them a taste of applause. It is to absolutely celebrate the top 20% of my unit. So the bottom 80 is going to get recognition. They're just not going to get it with pic collages and a flood from me publicly, because the more I get more of what I celebrate. So if I celebrate and spend all my time on just activity, I'm going to get consultants who just turn in blank beast mode sheets and just turn in blank beast mode sheets and just turn in blank beast mode sheets, because they know that will get them recognition, which is fine. On my weekly unit meeting, I said, raise your hand if you just turned in a beast mode sheet. They all raised their hand. We all applauded. Yay! Congratulations. Leave your hand up if you completed your beast mode sheet with the beast mode code. 2 girls left their hands up. They will get a pic collage. Are y'all with me? So that's where the unit communication and recognition, use your newsletter as a tool to recognize all the baby steps. Use your voice. Let them share the baby steps. Use your pictures and your pic collage and all of that to recognize milestones. That's important for you. You are going to wear yourself out if you try to recognize publicly pictures, words, for every time they pick up the phone. You're going to be exhausted. And I need you to be empowered and excited, and I need you to celebrate in a big way the milestones. I need you to recognize and applaud the baby steps. That's what your meeting's for. That's what your Zoom weekly meeting's for. That's what your newsletter's for. But your big public announcements, y'all, make it worth announcing. It's got to be activity worth an announcement. Y'all know what I'm saying? So I wanted to take that pressure off of y'all today, okay? And last is coaching and moving people up. You guys, if you take your, if you take this, okay, and you're filling it out, you're adding their pictures, that's exciting. At the end of the day, y'all, we will help our new consultants get to red, okay? We're going to urge them on to team leader, and we're going to let them get into DIQ. But they have got, for me, they have got to give some effort. They've got to give me some names. They've got to set up some interviews for me to do a sharing sheet with. You know, they've got to give some effort before I can help move them. I'm going to hit you the ball, and when you play tennis, if nobody hits it back, guess what? We can't play ball. This is not golf. I don't hit the ball and 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 never get reciprocation. This is tennis. I hit, you hit back. I hit, you hit back. I hit, you hit back. That's how this works. Okay? So sometimes we want to drag people who don't want to be drugged. Now, if they're willing and they're trying and they're not getting results, that is when you can get in there with them and let's make booking calls together. Come early to the meeting and let's talk. That kind of stuff where you can really help breathe belief. Now, Mary Kay Ash said there's really never a reason to criticize somebody or point out what they're not doing. They already know, and they're already beating themselves up about it. And so our job is to breathe belief, give them encouragement, remind them of their vision and their why, and what? Continue to urge them on to be successful while we are adding new people to our unit so that we as leaders can focus on you, the new, and the few. So until you have 10 superstars in your unit, turning in beast mode sheets, sending you sharing sheets, all that stuff, until there's 10, you gotta gas on, focus on your own faces, let them come with you to your appointments, train them in the car, train them on the way, stay in the zone because that's gonna keep you excited. It's gonna keep your bank account happy. It's gonna keep your man happy when your bank account is happy because then you're not stressed and taking it out on everybody else, okay? All right, so real quick, tell me what you're taking away today, and then we're gonna hop off. Anne-Marie?
Okay, the 13-week training schedule, go ahead and put that in the book, because kind of every week I've been going, oh, okay, I'll do this today. So I'm going to do that and have that in the binder. I already have an agenda, so we do the same outline every week. So I'll go ahead and put the agenda in the front, and then I'll have my 13-week tabs. The other thing, the communication, the pic collage, I'm recognizing for those big activities. I think that was really good. And I think, well, you're right about you get what you celebrate. So if you're doing every teeny little piece, then it's like, oh, I really don't actually have to do anything and I'll get recognition. And I've been seeing that with just some feedback from, well, I did this and I really put effort. So can I do this? And I'm like, no, you didn't, you know. And so, but it's good because that pushes us to, I mean, it doesn't do me any good to be allowed to move on to the next level when I haven't completed. So when you keep demanding, like, no, it's not turning in your sheet, it's turning in a completed sheet that gets you recognition with the NSD or recognition on the newsletter or whatever. So just transferring that. I love the weekly Wednesday recognition email and doing the memo for my office. So everything that I send out, I've got memo and then whatever it is. I really like that. So those are, I think, my biggest. And then it's not golf, it's tennis. I really like that.
Yay, we love tennis. Oh. Or I could have done baseball. You throw the ball, I hit it back. You throw the ball, I hit it back. You throw the ball, I hit it back. When you keep swinging and missing, we ain't playing nothing. Like, but that didn't really work as well as tennis. So anyway, all right. Thanks so much for being on.